I talk to 4 people, take 4 people through my proposal. The fourth person is a client. It's
I
very
love it.
predictable.
I
So
love
I
it.
don't need to reach out to hundreds of people, but that took me years to figure out. So the upper limit is 100. And again, I'm making numbers up, but they're
Yeah.
educated guesses. So let's say you take 100 people through your process, you will know exactly what your conversion rate is because you will start to see a pattern emerge. It might be 1 in every 6. By the way, 1 in 10 is a good conversion rate if you're starting out
Yeah.
your business. So I used to not do enough of these proposals. Well, great to have you, Ali, on the call. Thank you for being open to doing this, being courageous and open to going through a process like this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for creating that opportunity in the busy time that I know you are in. And I am very happy to see where we will go.
Awesome. So we can just jump in. I know you came with some kind of intention. I sent you a message ahead of time. What can I serve you with today?
I think the main thing would be to discuss more around, ironically enough, we met on that type of event, but I still want to get more clarity around getting clients as a coach myself. And get not just clarity, because I feel that I have the clarity, but the confidence that it will work. Because I know that the approach that we've learned from our mentor, it can take time. And sometimes doubt creeps in my head and start nagging me a lot around not even whether I'm good enough, but whether that is good enough approach and whether I'm doing enough. Because I keep wanted to do more. So I'm curious to explore that a bit more.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I want to clarify if I heard the right thing. So what I hear is that there is probably a challenge around confidence and also doubt that keeps coming up, and that's in your thought process around whether or not your process will serve the client, or there's something else there.
Whether I will be able to, yes, first serve the client powerfully enough so they can be ready fully to dive deeper with me and enroll the clients fully. The main end goal is to enroll them fully at the end of the process.
Okay. How long have you been doing this, Ali?
I've been a coach for 4 years now,
Mhm.
but I went full dive in like in January this year, and I've tried different approaches, and only now I feel that I am like I started doing the approach of our mentor approximately like 2 months ago, and I understand that it does work, but at the same time, like I want to get more results by that time now already.
Okay. And when you say you do it 2 months ago fully, what does that look like? Can you describe what you did?
Yeah, I launched a podcast. I do live coaching sessions there, and I keep talking to people. I keep putting myself out there. In January, I started really pushing on LinkedIn and starting posting there. Right now, I backed off a bit from there because I decided that I will go a different strategy. I have a newsletter. I now have a group for people to keep being there, to keep being in my energy. I started doing the group sessions where people come and we discuss their challenges. And I also did one external group mastermind for a different community. It was great. And there were also a few things more that I wanted to share, but like those are the main steps that I took.
That's a lot of stuff that you're trying. Congratulations. I
Thank
don't
you.
see a lot of coaches trying all that stuff, even coaches who've been there for years. they wouldn't move forward in that way that you have. I want to celebrate you on that. It takes a lot, and I've gone through the journey. It takes a lot to put yourself out there, and
Yeah.
it's a vulnerable process. You don't know if it will work or not, especially
Yeah.
because you've actually gotten people on the podcast and you've coached them. I haven't even done that for you. I'm just starting to do that. So that's
Yeah.
very inspiring for me to hear.
Thank you so much.
And you've tried group already, and you've tried to build group coaching, and then you've tried to build a group in the process. You've tried content, different kinds. I mean, I hope you celebrate that every day, because just that process is really, it's needed to move forward, even if half of it or most of it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I hope you take that as, you know what, I'm doing the work to move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. It was very important for me to hear. And what I also started doing is that, yes, I focus on getting numbers in, meaning that I track numbers to see like how many first DMs I sent, how many first calls I had with people, how many podcasts I recorded a week. And then actually ChatGPT told me a very great tool also is to capture all of the moments when your clients tell you that you are doing great or that you are a great coach, because maybe it is not coming from money standpoint right now, but those kind of wins can keep me going as well. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I agree with ChatGPT. I never thought I would say agree with the program, but we're saying that nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. No, it's a very useful tool. So tell me, what's your goal here? What's the ideal outcome you're trying to get to? I know you said you want to enroll clients, but what is the ideal you're trying to get to here?
Ideal is to being able to be financially stable just from my business and being able to serve my clients fully so they can see the transformations. And feel and think that I can get them there. And I think that the main idea right now for me is to start enrolling as consistent as possible. So then I will be able to become financially free and decide what I want to do, because I still have 9 to 5. I love it. I absolutely adore it. And I just want to have a freedom to decide whether I still want to combine those two together or I just want to go fully into coaching.
Okay, so how many clients at one-on-one or group would you need for you to go in that direction?
It depends on what program they would get. If they get a 6 months program with me, 3 will be enough to just feel stable and in a way show my brain that I am doing good job and I'm moving in the right direction, even though I know that I have tiny wins that I show already to it. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, 3 clients for 6 months program with me, or it would be 6 clients for the 3 months program with me.
And this is a one-on-one program or
Yeah,
group?
it's gonna be
One-on-one.
one-on-one.
One-on-one. Great. Thank you for sharing that. Now, one of the things you've shared is that in the process you've had doubt and confidence issues. How many proposals have you made so far?
Good question. Let me pull up my sheet.
Good. I love that you have a sheet.
Yes, I do. um, um, I have like 4 written down for sure, but I believe that I made like 3 more, so it would be 7. 7 proposals to. It wouldn't be that I gave them my numbers and I told them that it will cost that much for like with money. I most likely told it to 3, 4 people right now, and without money to just understand whether they're interested in to work together or not, it would be 7 or 8.
Okay, 7 or 8. Okay, and has there any proposal that has been a yes in the process? Maybe, or are you still following up with some of them?
All of them there were a few people maybe, like stronger maybe than no. And the stronger maybe was because for some people, financially, they can't afford it right now. For some people, they are right now in like, for 3 people, I know that they are right now working with someone already, and they told me that once they are finished either with their coaching program or with another business coach, they would be interested to come back to me.
Awesome. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I feel good because I also sent to one person my agreement because she said, "Look, I want to ideally because like I was very flexible, and she said ideally I want to if I would create conditions, ideally I would ask you to just have a session by session and pay you a session by session. And when I have a request, I would come to you and we would do a session." And I was like, well, it is definitely something than nothing. And I was very happy to do that, even though I felt in my body that my body procrastinated me to actually send that agreement. I promised to do it in 1 week. I did it like in 1 week and a half or maybe 2 weeks. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why don't I think that there's still maybe because of confidence stuff in my head. Sometimes I'm like, am I really good enough to take money from people? Even though like it's my goal, but at the same time, sometimes my brain is like, is it really happening right now? Can I really legally start taking money from people right now?
That's hilarious. So I mean, I relate so much with your experience because I did so many weird things when I was starting out because I was so uncomfortable accepting money from people
Mhm.
that I had to do a reframe in my head, be like, that money's not coming from them. It's coming from God for my services rendered.
I love it. Yeah.
I wouldn't even I would have to do otherwise I wouldn't be able to accept. I mean, very normal process. And one thing I want to point out before we even go into the doubt and confidence stuff is that you're within the game. Like you're playing full out. You're reaching out to people, you're serving people, you're proposing people. I think you're very close.
Thank you.
And I talked to a lot of coaches, about 97% of them are not doing all the things that you're sharing. And I'm not kidding. In the past year,
Mm.
I've talked to at least taken about 100 plus coaches through my process.
Wow.
And most of them are not doing this. Most of them are, I'll tell you what they're doing because I hear the patterns over and over. They're trying to build their website. They're trying to launch a podcast. They are going through some course and they're building their funnel.
Mm.
They are thinking about their business plan. They've been thinking about it for 5 years now. And again, I know it sounds a little bit judgmental, but that's and I did that too. So I'm not pointing at
Yeah,
them. In the
yeah, yeah.
next couple of years, I was doing all this stuff. It's actually fairly overloading, especially if you've never run a business or run a business like this.
Mhm.
The process can be incredibly draining. The fact that you're doing all this, one, shows incredible courage. Two, it shows that you have a service mindset. And it also shows that you're ready to go and you're getting feedback as well. The
Yeah.
fact that you're getting maybes, like what you're describing is pretty much my business. Some are
Mm.
maybe, some are yes, but
Mhm.
my business is a full-time, it has been a full-time business for 7.5 8 years, and all the things that you're describing are very normal things in business. To
Thank you.
you it might not feel normal, but it's the most normal thing. Do you hear that?
Yes, I do. And it honestly brings tears to my eyes because I needed that reflection from a person who is in business and who are talking with other people who are trying to start the business, because I was genuinely thinking that I'm not doing enough and that I need to keep doing. But the reflection that I had last week is all about like, let's come back to the truth about be, do, have. And let's first become that person grounded and confident and like, because as you said, that do part is there and I just need to keep doing that. And it's like not that that won't work. It just takes time and that's okay. But it's all about be and becoming that person who is grounded enough and who is serving from really place of really wanting to help rather than trying to sell. And yeah, it's like it really means a lot to me, especially right now because I had like quite a few things in a few weeks personally that shaked my reality in a way. And it really means a lot to me just to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, good. I know that because I needed to hear that. That was a
Mm.
point. So thank you for accepting that. And now let's talk a little bit about the doubt and the confidence stuff. Tell me a little bit about that. What's happening with that? When does it show up? How are you dealing with it? How do you move forward?
Yeah. Have you read or heard of a book, A Big Leap, from Guy
I've heard of it. I haven't read it
Hendricks?
yet.
Yeah, he is explaining there that people have four core upper limit problems, and I resonate with one of that a lot. And it's not that I really resonate with that. I know that it is inside of me. Part of me believes that something is not good in me, or I'm broken in a way, or like I'm not good enough, and it's like a root belief, a root lie that I have. And I have like many branches of that tree that tells like I'm not good enough coach, I'm not good enough friend, or I'm not good enough like daughter or anything like that. And um, when it comes up, for example, I want to come back right now again to reaching out to people in the community that I'm in, not in the same community that we're in, but in another one, in a community of female founders. And my brain keeps asking me, like, what would be the best message to send them? What would be the best first way to reach out to them? And I keep procrastinating that because I think that that message is not great enough, or I am not great enough as a person, or I am like, what if they will, what if they think that I am salesy, or what if they think that I try to push them, even though I am like very making it as gentle as possible because I know that I don't want to sell them like in general, I want to see if I can help them in a way or not. And that makes me procrastinate and not do even more outreach or even more genuine outreach that I would like to do.
Thank you for sharing that. And especially if those who are listening to this, you just described the most common epidemic in the
Yeah.
human world. We all go through the same thing, and I'll be honest with you, it's been 10 years. There are times where those same doubts come in. Just not the same intensity, but similar doubts. The only difference is that I'm able to deal with it much faster. And also, I love that you're referring to your brain or your mind. You're separating yourself from it. It's our mind that most of the time it's the monkey mind. It's the mind that constantly it's trying to protect us for the most part. I think I can tell you have that awareness. There's one other piece I want to invite you to consider, and I would have never thought of this because this is a very coach problem, is that my self-worth is so tied into my business, and partly because you put so much for yourself into this business, your services are connected to it, but partly we kind of connected. And one of the things that has helped me over the years, and I've talked to a lot of coaches, that helps them as they are able to do, just like you're separating your brain from you, I need you to separate your needs and specifically your self-worth from your business. And here's what I mean. So, and I'll explain this quickly. The way the marketplace works is that you put out something. It could be a service, a product. For example, if I built a mouse like this, I put it out there, and the way the marketplace works is you need to put this out there and give it to a bunch of people to try as a prototype. I dropped it. It hasn't broken. It's a good product. So let's take this pen. So so the way it works is that they're gonna try it out, and based on that, you're gonna get some feedback. Some will be positive, some will be negative because it's a new prototype you're building. Hopefully, you've done some research, put it out there, and then after a while, they're gonna, as they use it, they might recommend it to other people. And ideally, in any kind of business, you want to get to a point where other people are referring your services or product, and that's the whole process to connect with clients, serve them, make a proposal is actually that prototyping process, which means that you need to put it out there enough. And I'll talk about what enough is because most coaches underestimate that part. Put it out there enough for people to test it out. And then ultimately, it's the marketplace or people decide whether or not your services are good enough, not you. You're a precious snowflake, just like everybody else. It was funny. It was this one speaker. He was talking about sales. He's like, I'm not talking about you. I'm not saying you're not good enough. You're all precious snowflakes. That's good. And we all are. Like you're nobody can determine your value, and you can't even determine your own value, and you're priceless. Forget about that part. You're an integral part of this, at least in my belief system, in this whole experience we're in. But what we're talking about is a system that human beings have built, a capitalistic system that relies heavily on people's feedback to move this forward. If you cannot separate that, you will always take that separately, personally. Now, if you built a pen, you would still be attached to some degree, but you will not take it personally that somebody's looking at that pen. Well, it doesn't write as well. But if somebody gives you the feedback that, it didn't support me as well, or they didn't respond to you, it feels more personal, feels very personal. And I know how that feels like. So that part, just like you're separating your brain from yourself, you need to separate the market reality from yourself. Now, your self-worth and stuff, yeah, that's an issue. That's a needs issue that was not met at some point in your life, likely early childhood. I still have that. I've done a lot of trauma work and it's a likelihood that you might never get over that, or at least you might deal with the intensity of it. It might be with you the rest of your life. But here's a cool thing, and this is the part that might be once you're able to separate it, it actually doesn't matter how you feel, because the market will keep giving you feedback, and ultimately, because you're recording the numbers will speak, and numbers and your growth and you taking in the feedback. So for example, if I had a pen, I'm putting it out there, I want at least 100 people to use this and give me feedback and ask them, would you recommend this to somebody? Do you know anybody who would want to take advantage of something like this? Of course, pen is a small thing, but it could be something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are hesitating and they're not referring anybody, then there's something off with the pen. What could I improve in this thing?
Got
What kind
it.
of feel? Now coaching is very similar to that. Your coaching services, they need to see enough value, and what most coaches think what value is and what it is in the marketplace are two different things. Ultimately, allow the marketplace to decide what the value of your coaching is, which means that you need to get at least, I would say, at least 30 to 50 people to walk through your whole process, make proposals before you even decide whether or not it's valuable or not. That means your job is to push your services, and the only thing you need to connect with that is, hey, this is important to me, this is part of my purpose, I'm going to keep putting this out there no matter how painful the feedback might be. I need to keep proving this, because the way your product or service will last is that you keep improving.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, you will see that at some point referrals will kick in. It will not be the person you're connecting to, but it will be the next person, and also you're building your network too as you're doing this, because as you deliver value, people will connect you with other people, and you're learning a lot about your coaching process. I'm going to pause here. What are your thoughts so far?
I really love the idea around just putting that number in front of me, because I have a sheet and I count how many proposals, and specifically when I talk about money, I made. And I was just like, okay. And I like to put upper limit. So I mean, like, making sure that 50 is the number that I get. And this is the only game I'm playing right now.
So make 50 your lower limit. Upper limit is 100. So the reason why I said
Oh,
30
I
to
love
50,
it.
so when you make about 30, I have a feeling at about 30 proposals, you'll probably get a couple of clients. You'll probably
Mm,
get 2 to 3 clients. And the problem is this: from a business point of view, you don't actually know what your conversion rate is yet,
mm-hmm.
because you haven't offered it enough. So I know my conversion rate. If I talk to 4 people, take 4 people through my proposal, the fourth person is a client. It's
I
very
love it.
predictable.
I
So
love
I
it.
don't need to reach out to hundreds of people, but that took me years to figure out. So the upper limit is 100. And again, I'm making numbers up, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
educated guesses. So let's say you take 100 people through your process, you will know exactly what your conversion rate is, because you will start to see a pattern emerge. It might be 1 in every 6. By the way, 1 in 10 is a good conversion rate if you're starting out
yeah.
your business. So I used to not do enough of these proposals, and I would get to the end of the year, I only have 2 clients, and I did like 20 proposals. I'm like,
Mm,
but I didn't know that that was actually working. So
yeah.
30 to 50 will give you a couple of clients. You will start to see a little bit of a pattern, but you need to hit at least, I would say, 100 for you to see a recurring pattern. Once you know your conversion rate, 1 in 8, now you know how many people you need to propose to hit your numbers on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I'm purposely moving this away from your emotions. It has nothing to do with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
emotions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. And like, I'm working very separately on believing in the idea that I'm worthy as I am, and like, I, I definitely know that, and it's just like it's also that service can be very valuable and beneficial for that very person in that very time, and it's like it's nothing to do with me. It can be wrong timing, or they are not ready enough, or they are not really wanting that much enough, and that's like absolutely okay. And I really love the very, I can say blunt or very dry numbers game, because that can create very big clarity for me. Like, okay, you are doing all the right things, you are just not there enough, and you just need to get to 100 people on your podcast and like better 100 people done of your proposals, and that's it. And keep going and keep doing that, and believing in the rules of market, that people will start referring me if they believe that it's valuable enough, or if not, it's an amazing opportunity for me after our session to ask what could have been done differently or better to make sure that they have more value over there.
Awesome. I love that. And how do you feel about this?
I feel very calm and very confident and very like very certain.
Good.
Yeah.
Confidence. We brought confidence into the picture. Good. And that comes sometimes from the work that you do. Sometimes it comes from having a frame of reference. Because you don't have enough of a frame of reference, for me, it's very normal to go through this whole and for a while not have anybody say yes for a little bit. It was like, oh, that's normal. The other day, my wife was asking me, she's like, how do you make money? I'm like, that's a good question. I joked her. I'm like, I have no idea. I just do the work. But that is the work. The work is to serve people and actually offer what you think is valuable, and they get to decide whether or not it's not.
Yeah.
And so once you start hitting 50 plus numbers, you will start to see, and we underestimate the compound effect of it. You will start to see people referring you more and more. And I remember the first few years when I was doing this, I had done like over 300-400 sessions, like proposals. And there
Okay.
was a point I remember I got, I would get referred. I'm like, I must be really good. I felt really good. But then I looked at my numbers and like, holy shit, I've helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the effect of it was people are sending me to people and I'm proposing more. And then that translates to clients. Ultimately, that's all it's about. And as you do this, you will get gain more confidence. You will serve more people because it naturally will become a self-feeding mechanism. But
Hmm.
right now, you're in the early stages of it. One thing I do here is that, and we don't have time to explore all the things that you're doing. Pretty much everything need to translate to you making proposals. It's fine that you're doing a bunch of stuff. Anything that doesn't lead to proposals is a waste of time right now. Any kind
Hmm.
of marketing effort or any kind of other branding effort that doesn't lead to proposals, cut it out. Focus on making as many proposals as possible. That will help you refine your services, that will help you understand your conversion rate, that will help you build your confidence. And another recommendation is listen to pretty much every call that you do and write down feedback for yourself. And second step to that is send it to another coach who would give you feedback.
Nice.
Ideally, a coach who runs a business.
Hmm.
Ideally, don't do this alone. But so far you've done a lot, and I think this is taking you in a positive direction. One last question. At the end of your proposal, whether a person says yes or no, do you ask them for a referral?
No.
That's your challenge from now on. At the end of it, it doesn't matter if they say yes or no. I actually look at the whole process to take people through it. And I actually just did that right before our call. And the person said no, and I was fine. I sent them a bunch of resources and asked them, like, my business runs fully on referral. Has this been valuable for you, this process? Like, yeah, this helped me a lot in so many ways. Great. Do you know one other person that I could serve in this way? That's all. And stay quiet. Let them talk. And then they will tell you. Then ask them, like, why do you think I can support them? What do they need? Blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, would you be open to introducing me to this person? that will increase the referrals that come to you. And so now you're pushing another energy towards, I'm not attached to who signs up, but I do want to keep expanding my network because that leads to business. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. What did you love about our conversation today?
How we broke down everything from emotions to numbers and to simple steps and to very clear identification. Everything I do in business should lead to proposals. If it doesn't lead to proposals, new website won't make me new proposals, so don't spend time on that. And listen to my sessions and send it for feedback to other coaches and who are in business as well, and end each proposal, whether it's yes or no, with a question about referral.
Good, good. What was the biggest insight for you out of all of these?
That what I'm doing is the right thing to do, and the journey that I am going is exactly the thing that I need to do, and I am in the right place, and I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm doing a great job already. I just need to keep serving people and to keep proposing and to keep asking for feedback.
Awesome. How do you feel?
I feel very great.
Good. I'm glad. Yay, we did it. Great job. Thank you for
Yes.
being on with me and being open to this process. And once again, I can't tell you how much I want to celebrate you and honor you for the struggle you've gone through to do what you're doing.
Thank you.
And actually to be wanting to serve people. The fact that you've gotten this much feedback means that you've done work in the background. You know how to serve people. It's just a matter of you just need to keep refining it. That has
Yes.
nothing to do with your self-worth. Meet your needs, go get your coaching, therapy, get your community met. But ultimately, you're there to serve other clients. And so think about the client needs more so than your needs in the process. Always separate the two. And you're very close, very, very close. Keep doing the work. I wish somebody told me that early on when I started. But this just and if you need to hear it, I'm gonna send you this recording as well. Keep listening to it
Yes,
as much as
please.
it takes,
Absolutely.
especially in those moments when you doubt yourself.
Mhm.
Doubt is very normal. The lack of confidence is very normal. Not being able to hit your numbers are very normal. All of it is very normal. But the problem is that you haven't done this long enough to know what's normal or not. But just take my word for it, borrow it until you build it yourself. Then at some point you'll get to it's like, oh, okay, let's move on to the next person to serve. That is literally your business, to serve people. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you click on this video or this video. It will serve you to move your growth journey forward. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.